I hope you have understood this problem. Let's see the execution of this. I'm inserting an element at front, that is 5. So since the queue was initially empty, it has updated front and rear to 0 now, and queue elements is 5. Both front and rear are pointing to 5 only. Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. This is Soumya Ramani, your Gyani Buddy. Welcome you all to this channel. So in today's video, we are going to see how to implement a double-ended queue or a D queue using a circular queue. So it will be a D queue, but it will have some properties of circular queue. So before going to the code, first let's see the concept of this. So what is a circular queue? A circular queue is similar to a simple queue. The basic difference between both is in a simple queue, the elements are arranged in a sequential order, but in circular queue, they are arranged in circular order. That means in a circular queue, the last position is always connected to the first position, making it a circular-like structure. So that is a circular queue. What is double-ended queue then? A double-ended queue is same as a simple queue, but it has a difference that in a double-ended queue, we can add and delete elements from both the ends. While in a simple queue, we can only add elements from the rear end and delete elements from the front end. But in D queue, that is double-ended queue, we can do it from both the sides. So let us understand how these 4 operations are performed in a D queue. So first one is add from rear end. So we need to add an element here from the back side. That means in this position, the third position. So what we need to do is, as we all know, the first element is always front and the last element is always rear. So what we will do here is, suppose we want to add an element 5 here. So we will just increment this rear by 1 and add the element in this position. Okay, so we just need to increment the rear here. That is, we will perform an operation rear plus plus. Second one is delete from rear end. Here, suppose we have a queue like this 785. This is front and this is rear. So we need to delete this element 5 because it is at the rear position right now. So again, for deleting it, we will just simply decrement the rear by 1 so that it points to 8. The second element. So we are doing an operation here, rear minus minus. The third operation is add from front. In this, what we will do is, suppose this is the queue we have. So we need to add an element here in the first position. So you can now understand that in previous operations we were doing rear plus plus or rear minus minus. But now, since we have to deal with the front part, we will be doing front plus plus or front minus minus. So in this, we need to add an element in front. So we will do front minus minus here. Similarly, when we want to delete an element from front, here we will delete 5. So we will increment this front by 1. So the operation we are doing here is front plus plus. I hope you have gotten clear idea about how these 4 operations will work. We just need to increment or decrement the front and rear variables here. Now, as we all know, I have just written here this for reminder. As we all know that for checking the condition if the queue is full or empty, if it is full, this condition should be satisfied, and if it is empty, this should be satisfied. So if the queue is full, the front is always 0 and rear is always max minus 1. So they are both the extremities of the queue, or front is equal to rear plus 1. Then condition for a queue to be empty is front is equal to minus 1. That means it is pointing to no element in the queue. So that is, the queue is empty. So now let's see the code. In the code, we have these various methods. and I have defined an array here, dq array, with maximum limit. Here I have defined the maximum limit as 7, and I have initialized front and rear to -1 initially. Okay, now this is a switch case statement, and it will be performing these 5 operations: insert at front end, insert at rear end, delete from front end, and delete from rear end, and the 5th one is display. So display we are going to use for printing the elements. So according to user choice, whatever choice he will be giving is, we will be performing this operations. So suppose we need to perform an operation from insertion from front end. So in this method, what I am doing, first we will be passing a variable known as int item here. So now, since we have to insert an element, first we will check the condition that whether the queue is full or not. If the queue is full, then there will be no space to insert, so there is no point of moving ahead to the ahead in the code. So we will directly print that queue is overflow. Now for checking this queue is full or not, we have one more method here, that is full. Now this is the condition which I have already explained it to you before. We will check if this condition satisfies, it will return 1, otherwise it will return 0. So if it will return 1, then we'll print a message overflow, but if it does not return 1, we will move ahead in the code. Now it again checks one more condition, that if front equals to -1. Then if front equals to -1, then our queue is completely empty, right? So in that condition, what we need to do is we need to put that element in first position only, and front and rear will point to that element only, because there is only one element in that queue. So we will initialize front equals to 0 and rear equals to 0. Else if front equals to 0. If front is 0, then since it is a circular queue, what we are doing is front equals to max -1. That means it will go to the last element, and we will add an element there. But else, if front is equal to front -1, these are all normal cases. Like apart from queue is full or queue is empty, or front is equals to 0, all the cases will come here in the else part, and these are the normal cases. So we will simply do front minus. As I've already explained, when we want to insert an element from front end, we will do the operation front minus, right? So after doing this, checking all the conditions, it comes here to this array, and whatever the value of front is updated, if it is 0 or it is max -1 or it is front minus, then that item will go to that position. So first we are checking all the conditions here and updating the front value, and at last we are putting the element there. Okay, so let's understand the second one, void insert rear end. In this also we will pass an item, int item. Now again we are doing insertion operation, so we have to see whether the queue is full or not. If it is full, then we will print the statement queue is overflow. Else, if front is equal to -1, again this is the condition for checking if the queue is empty. Then we will put front equals to 0 and rear equals to 0. Else, if rear equals to -1, it says that rear is at last position, so we will increment it to, because since it is a circular queue, if rear is pointing to last position, it will come to first position. Why? Because when we do insertion from rear end, the operation we have to do is rear plus. So when it is at last position, it will come to first position, being a circular queue. Else all the normal cases will come here, and we are doing rear plus. and finally we'll add an item there. Now the third operation, int delete front end. So we are deleting an element from the front end. Here again we are passing an element here. Now for deletion, the first thing we need to check is if the queue is empty or not, because if the queue is empty, there's no point of moving ahead in the code. So we'll directly print the message and we will move out of that. So if the queue is empty, we will print queue underflow. And here what we are doing is, whatever the element we have in front right now, we will put it in the item. Okay, and then we are checking all the conditions. So the first condition we are checking is front equals to rear. If front is equals to rear, then only one element is there in the queue, because front and rear both are pointing to one element. So we will come to our initial values, that is front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1. That means the queue becomes empty after removing that element. Else if front equals to max -1, if front is at the last position, then we will need to increment it to 0, right? Because it's a circular queue. Otherwise, these all are normal cases. For deleting an element from front end, we always do front ++. So all the normal cases will come here in else part, and then we are returning that item. Similarly, for deletion from rear end, again we are passing this item. We are checking whether the queue is empty or not. Now we are checking the condition here, if front equals to rear. If this is the case, then again the queue has only one element, and after removing that element, queue will come to its initial values, front equals to -1 and rear equals to -1. Else if rear is 0, if rear equals to 0, then we will do rear -. Now since it is a circular queue, if rear is at 0 position and we are doing rear -, then it will go to the last element. So that is this case. Otherwise, all the normal cases will come here, rear -. We know that for deletion from rear end, we do rear -, and then we are returning that item which is deleted. Now these are is full method, is empty method. They are same as conditions which I have explained before. Now comes the display method. In this method, we are simply displaying all the elements after performing all the operations. So every time we perform an operation, this method is called. So first we'll check if the queue is empty. If the queue is empty, we'll directly print the statement queue is empty. But if it is not the case, then we are initializing our counter variable, that is I, to front, and checking if front is less than equal to rear. If front is less than equal to rear, we will traverse the complete array and print all the positions between them. Or if if this is not the case, then we are traversing from I to max -1, that is the last position. And here, then again we are traversing from I to the rear position and printing all the elements. So in this way, we will be able to cover all the cases and print all the elements. I hope you have understood this problem. Let's see the execution of this. I'm inserting an element at front, that is 5. So since the queue was initially empty, it has updated front and rear to 0 now, and queue elements is 5. Both front and rear are pointing to 5 only here. If I insert element at last, see the queue is like this now, 5 and 8, and front has become 0 and rear has become 1. If I again put at last, oh, so I have entered the choice here by mistake 3. So 3 says delete from front end, so it has deleted the element 5 here, and again they both have become 1. Front and rear, they both point to only one element, that is 8, and it has become 1. let me put one more element here. I'll insert from front 7. So 7 and 8, front is 0 and rear is 1. Now we'll delete from front end. 7 is again deleted and the remaining element is 8 only. So you can see that after performing every operation, the display method is automatically called and it is displaying the front value, rear value and the Q elements. So I'll quit this. So I hope you have understood this problem. If you have any doubts or any queries, you can post it in the comment box and we'll reply you there. So thanks so much. Have a nice day.